Hi, my name is Kenedi Worthington, and I'm the theater director here at the high school.
Hi, my name is Jason Worthington, and I am the technical theater director and GoPack manager for Lockhart High School.
What is your job as a theater teacher?
Well, I would say that as a theater teacher, I wear many different hats. I first and foremost like to focus on just the education aspect of it, teaching students how to feel comfortable in their own skin. Public speaking, working as a team, problem solving, but I also love directing. I love telling stories. It's really great because I don't just think of it as, my project as a director. I like to have a lot of student collaboration. So whether we're directing a show and we're, talking about acting techniques and characterization, or if it's set design and publicity and marketing, there's so many different, levels to theater that I love kind of helping igniting those student passions.
My job as a technical theater director is to find everyone's strengths and help them recognize their weaknesses so that they can work together as a team to really pull through the technical aspects of a show. And really the biggest parts of that are lighting, sound, set design, costume design, hair, makeup, props, and everyone's gonna have their strengths, everyone's gonna have their weaknesses, and it's, for the most part, everyone comes into this not knowing anything, which is exciting for everyone, because not only are they learning brand new skills for the theater department, they're also learning skills that they can take with them in any career choice and in any path that they take post high school.
How was the process of putting on a show?
From the beginning, which the table read, the first time that students get their scripts in their hands, to the rehearsal process, which is really rigorous, and sometimes it's just a lot of research and diving deep into these characters, figuring out what kind of lighting you want, designing the sets together. I think that the process, I really like the idea of getting as many ideas onto the stage as possible. And I tell the students there's no bad idea. Any idea can springboard the idea that we commit to. And so I always tell them, just whatever you're thinking, through this whole process, let's just collaborate together. And then from there, we'll choose, what's gonna make the final cut. And so through that process, you get a lot of students that might be shy or who have never done anything like this before. And, I tell them this is where you learn. A lot of times they think, I can't audition for a show, or I can't, apply for a lighting technician, position. But I say every single student who has once, just thought, okay, yes, I can, they just had to say yes on paper. And from there, that's where they learned, and they find their passion. They absolutely love it, and it's really cool. I think that's my favorite process, is when you have a student who thinks they can't, and they end up, surprising themselves. So I think through that process, from table read all the way to the final production, one of my favorite parts, aside from just the rehearsal process, which I think is so much more important than just the end product. But I love sitting back in the dark at the back of the house and thinking, this all was just from a moment in which we said, let's just tell the story. And now we have, the entire community that gets to enjoy it, and hopefully it lasts a lifetime.
And then we determine how we are going to accentuate the actors with the technical elements. How are we going to use light and sound and costuming and set design to convey emotion, to convey tension, to convey some of the more abstract elements of the play, and a lot of times those become their own characters. The set can be its own character because it kind of helps the driving action, the driving force of the actors, and it really helps them get into the scene. It makes it a little bit more believable for them if they can see it. Relationships in theater, so I think it is the most important aspect of our job is to make those connections. Empathy is the most important thing that we teach in theater. Everything else is just a bonus. If we can teach these students how to view someone else's perspective, whether or not they agree, whether or not they even have the same life experiences, if they can view the world through someone else's eyes and through that lens, then we are successful as theater educators.
Theater is a group of students that, you know, there's not just one type of theater kid, and I love that. You've got, you know, you've seen like the movies and the television shows that tell you, you know, you got your jocks, you got your, you know, cheerleaders, you've got your nerds, but that, you know, in theater, none of that exists. I think what's so cool is that there's not really necessarily like this clique or these social clubs, but instead, like, you just have a bunch of students who are eager to learn, want to problem solve together, want to collaborate. And I think that is what kind of makes this mix match, you know, family. It's nobody is more knowledgeable than the other. Nobody is more, you know, popular than the other. It's just a bunch of students who want to tell a story. And when you enter into this safe zone, you know, people feel comfortable to be able to be silly or be serious. And I think that's kind of the beauty of the family-like atmosphere that we have, is that, you know, we try to create a culture that is safe and inviting, and that you can dare to dream and challenge yourself. And I think that is the most rewarding aspect of this culture that the students have created. It's, you know, every day you walk in and you know that you can dream up anything, and that you're going to be accepted for having creative ideas and imagination. These kids, there's never a dull moment. You know, I mean, I haven't gone a day without laughing until I want to cry. I think that, you know, these kids just want to enjoy themselves, and for a lot of them, it's an escape. You know, I think that we are living in a world right now where sometimes enacting our imaginations is few and far between. We don't really get that opportunity all the time to be celebrated for, you know, having creativity. And I think that in this family that we've created, not only are the students welcoming and accepting of one another, but they support each other and they encourage each other to step outside their comfort zones. And it's it's just a really cool experience as just a facilitator to kind of see, to step back and see student leaders be born. You know, people who thought that, you know, by who they are their freshman year to where they are as a senior, you know, can be vastly different, but it's really not anything that I do. It has everything to do with who they are and the positive relationships that they've made, the people who impact them, that they work alongside, which I love.